Hello, LinkedIn. Thank you for joining us on another session of HubSpot AI for Beginners. Today, we are talking about the AI Workflow Action Builder inside of HubSpot. This feature has promised us that if you describe your workflow, AI will build the actions for you. And today I am joined by Trisha. Hello, Trisha. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I am great.
We're going to give another site here on the spotlight today, just because we
Yes.
can. A little Wally here. This is Wally's
Little...
1 year birthday.
Happy birthday, Wally.
She's an Italian greyhound. She was just snuggled up on my lap. So happy. I don't let her work on my lap. But for this call, I'm like, you can be there.
Yeah, it's her birthday too. I mean,
it is her birthday. She got steak for her birthday.
Ooh.
I've literally never given one of my dogs steak for their birthday before. This is my daughter's dog, but she got steak.
I forgot to take the ticker off from my last live, but actually I'm just going to keep it.
No, absolutely. Everybody should stop what they're doing right now and go to put the link in the chat, maybe, unless they can go it from the ticker. But if you haven't done it, go do it and vote for Casey. Definitely.
I changed it to vote for Casey specifically. My last live, I went on live with Matthew Ruxton, who I'm up against this week. And so I didn't vote for Casey in that one, although I did think about it.
That would have been a flex for sure.
I control the ticker, so. And Trisha, you have a beautiful background today. Do you want to tell the people what is happening behind you?
Oh, I'm an amateur flower farmer. And by amateur, what I really mean is that I'm acting like I'm a flower farmer, but I haven't gone to market yet. So I have all of this and I don't have any way to get rid of it. I have been trying through like Nextdoor and other things, being like, people like, come, I have. So it is just a hurdle that I have been going through for the last couple of years this time of year, because I have a bounty, as you see, but I kind of like the vibe that I have a flower market like right here.
Mm-hmm. I like that vibe too, and I think it's beautiful. I'm a big fan of flowers. My therapist recently told me she was very surprised about that because I'm not a fan of waste, and I I have a hard time with when things are going to be wasted and wastefulness. So you cut flowers and they die. That's kind of their whole thing. And so my therapist was very surprised, but I almost always have flowers in my kitchen or on my dining room table.
And I didn't know that about you until I saw how many pictures you took of flowers in Copenhagen. And then I was like, how do I not know this about Casey? She's a flower lover.
I am a flower lover. When I go on vacation, and you know what? My dad does this too. It drives my mom nuts. And like, it actually like kind of is embarrassing for me, because like it's my dad. And like, I just, but my mom has like my entire life complained because we'll get home from vacation and like the digital camera will be full because of all the pictures my dad has taken of flowers. And my mom would be like, what are we doing with all of these photos of flowers? And I do it. I do it. It's so embarrassing.
Well, I mean, amongst all the landscapes and the pictures of boats and canals and stuff, wait, I want to show you a thing. Where did I put it? What the hell is it? I lost it. Oh no, it's right here. I really appreciated the pictures of flowers. And this one right here is one that you don't see in any kind of like florist bouquet too often, because if grown locally, you can get them into florist hands. But if they're being shipped from a national wholesaler, they don't last. But it's called Buplurum. And I don't know. I just think it's really, I'm just going to stick that guy up here too. I think they're really pretty. All the flowers. Let's have all the flowers.
I like weird flowers too. Like I got one from a bouquet from a farmer's market a couple weeks ago, and it like there was this one flower that like looked like a brain almost. Like I don't know, but I like
that was I have a different form of it up there. That was celosia.
Yeah.
And people, yeah, the brains are very popular.
Yeah, I like it. So today, hello, we're not here to talk about flowers.
We're here to talk about something that brings a lot less joy at this moment in time, which is using AI in workflows.
Yeah. So Trisha, I know we've talked a lot and a little bit of background context. Trisha and I have met 2-3-ish times now to try to get the generate actions through workflows with AI to work in HubSpot. And we consider ourselves kind of handy with HubSpot. That's
We're pretty handy.
Do you want to share a little bit of like your current AI frustrations?
Yeah.
Publicly.
Yeah,
do you want to air your grievances?
And my personality type is always that if something isn't working, it's my fault, or if something went wrong, it's my fault. Like my first instinct is always to check myself and figure out what I did wrong. And when I see people out in our world doing things with AI and HubSpot that I'm not able to do, it's instantly, my judgment is like, you're just doing it wrong. You can't, like, why can't you figure this out? And there's a whole lot of judgment that comes from that. I just don't hear a lot about when people are failing at stuff. And I want to normalize this for everybody, because all of the things that you and I collectively have tested with HubSpot AI so far kind of leans toward a very, like, this is oversimplifying, but if you're using it for content, it's pretty good. Like, there's a lot of use cases and there's a lot of things that are working on that side of the fold. But if you're using it for more data and operational things, it's not there. And so when you're rubbing up against problems not being able to achieve the result you want, it's usually not you as the tool. And great example, like one example is I was just trying to create a branch, because I don't want to ever create another branch. How about you, Casey?
I hate if then branches. So the example that I was trying to recreate with Trisha when she brought this to my attention was, I have a bunch of workflows I've built across many portals just to normalize states. So I live in Maryland. If my state is listed as Maryland, or if it's listed as MD, just change all of those to just be Maryland. That way I can very easily in HubSpot find everyone that is in Maryland, versus every time I try to find them, I have to do Maryland or MD, or maybe I did Mary period. Like, I don't know. I'm weird and I did something weird. Maryland's not a great example, but Massachusetts, people in Massachusetts do that all the time. MASS. So but it's an annoying workflow. It's obviously 50 branches. And you can't even do 50 branches. So you have to go like, I think it maxes out at either 20 or 25. So then you have to like do subsequent branches. It's a mess. It's a mess.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I never want to build something that looks like that ever again. I can't wait to be at the point where we don't have to. But that's one example. Another one, I was like, look at original source drill down to, and do a contains match. And if it's Google, label it, like, set this other property to Google, custom property. And if it's a Bing match, set it to Bing. And if it's a LinkedIn match, set it to LinkedIn. And it totally choked. And all it would give me, it created all the branches, but it set the property to, or the logic to, equals. And equals was never going to get it. It had to be a contains match. So that was another example. Another example was just a very, very simple workflow that was like, if it's a new lead, identified by lead status, send it down this branch. And if it's not, send it down that branch. And I even had AI create the prompt for me. And it still choked. And it was so simple. I could not figure out why it wouldn't work. Ended up calling customer support. And here's the thing. I had to they couldn't figure it out either. I sent them a HAR file. And then when they did get back to me a couple of days ago, the answer was basically like, just pause, because the developers are working on the code and they have a release that's coming up that they hope will fix your problem. So there you go.
So yeah, that's pretty much what happened when Trisha and I first started working on this. We couldn't get a lot of what we wanted to do with the action builder. And sorry, I should back up like 2 steps here. So what we're really talking about today is if you have created a workflow and you go in to create an action, there is now this option to generate actions with AI, describe your workflow, and AI will build actions for you, which sounds great.
Sounds great. Really great. One more example.
Yes.
Like, super important for people to just be aware that this is going on. Witchery. Explain the witchery of Breeze actions.
And
what you like. So the point I'm trying to make is, even if you've seen somebody do this in a HubSpot portal on a live, doesn't mean that you can do it.
So Trisha is referring to my good friend Chris Carolyn, who I have seen this workflow that he built that normalizes how did you hear about us data, and it uses an action right here that says ask Breeze. That is not available in any other portal. I've checked. I have access to over 10 portals. I've checked them all. They do not have that, except for the portal that he has already built this in, which there are 2 options. One is a special portal that Chris has, that, the HubSpot overlords have graced Chris with that ability and no one else. But what we believe to be more likely is that that was a feature that was introduced. Chris had built something in that portal for it. It got that locked that feature into that portal, where HubSpot has taken it out of the other portals because really they want you to use Breeze Intelligence, Breeze credits for that, whereas that Ask Breeze action did not.
Yeah. So it will probably be returned to all of us at some point in the near future with a credit attachment to it. Mm-hmm. And maybe the lesson to that is, if there is for these new features, try them out as soon as possible, because maybe once they get locked into your portal, you can use them for a while. But then again, if they get taken away later, that doesn't feel too good either.
Could be. It could be. So today, just to demonstrate a little bit of what we've seen. So while we've been testing this, what we've noticed is the more operational pieces, or at very least that if-then branching, does not seem, we cannot get that to work. We've tried multiple prompts. We've used AI to support the prompts. Nico, Chris Carolyn, if you're watching, I would love for you to prove me wrong and come on next week and show us how to make it work. Nothing would make me happier. But me. Right now, right now, I guess I'll say this: 2 very smart HubSpot users, we're not finding that to be more efficient than creating branches of our own. Is maybe at least the baseline. Where I want this to be. I want this to build the branches for me. So let's say, look at original source, drill down 1. If contains Google Ads, PPC, or anything similar, set lead source equals to paid if contains linked in Facebook.
And what we're going to do while Casey's typing that out is we're just going to see if any of the AI generators is doing anything any better than any of the others. I had an experience building a bunch of data from a survey earlier this week, and it was astonishing how much better ChatGPT did than Gemini did at compiling that data. So we thought it'd be really fun to take a look at the Breeze prompt generator and compare that to ChatGPT and Claude and just see if there's anything that we learn there in terms of who's kind of getting an A in this.
All right, so let's say keep actions. So what Trisha and I have seen time and time again, is this equals to.
Oh,
so
there you go.
It'll just say is equal to Google. It will not do like the contains logic. And that is basically where we're at. This one actually did a little bit of a better job just in respect to like, it did say.
I've gotten it to do that before, which was, I got really excited. Yeah.
Equal actually doesn't even still help me because it does not going to equal that. So that's where we're at with that. Where we have found it to be more successful is in more like content. Actually, well, why I even tested this out was when it says describe your workflow, send an email after 5 days, then add contact to a list and create a task. This type of workflow, I guess maybe even taking out the if-then branching elements, we are seeing it work better. So I gave the same prompt to, I gave it to Claude, I gave it to ChatGPT, I gave it to Hub Helper Harry, hey Nico, and I also gave it to Copilot. And the instructions I gave each of those are, can you draft instructions for HubSpot's AI workflow action builder? I want the workflow to send a marketing email immediately that delivers the asset they downloaded, then assign a task to connect on LinkedIn with the contact, assign to the contact owner, then wait 3 days and send another marketing email recommending related resources. We'll start with Copilot, which is where I am right now. And this is giving me step-by-step instructions. So it's telling me to first go create a workflow, set enrollment trigger. And now this is telling me how to do this, which is interesting because that's not what I wanted. I let it do this in the background while we started the show. I mean, this works, but it's not actually what I want. Can you draft the prompt for me to put in HubSpot?
So this is a little bit, I don't know. Again, this is kind of down the lines of content to me. If it's content related, seems to work. And if it's if you're trying to work with properties, branch off of properties, I guess it's maybe the branching that's so confused. I think that's where I've had the most problems with the branching.
All right, so I'm going to send this to it. Send contact marketing email delivering the asset immediately, then create and assign a task to the contact owner to connect with them on the contact on LinkedIn. Wait 3 days, send contact another marketing email. I will say I know it's not going to generate the emails for me. I know that, but it will do this. Okay, so this is from HubSpot's Copilot, which did need a little bit of a tweak there. But generally, send email. I will have to drop the email in. That's sensible. Then create task. The task is also blank, which is fine. I would like this to be able to do more, but whatever. And then delay 3 days and then send another email. I mean, this is workable.
I mean, it's a start. And then when you go into the enrollment criteria, click on that.
Oh, it doesn't do enrollment criteria at this point. Sorry, this is just.
There is an AI, like you can use AI for the enrollment criteria too. There you go.
Okay.
But I've had just as many problems with this, for the record.
All right. So I will say Copilot, although I needed to like adjust my prompt a little bit, it did give me what I need. Here. Let's try Claude. See, and this might be my prompt issue. Because
when did you write that?
There. They all did the same thing, which tells me that it's a prompt issue, not a.
Yeah.
All right. Here is what Claude gave me. I know it's not going to do this enrollment trigger type, so I'm just going to copy the workflow sequence part here.
Oh, look, I love how it gave you an alternative shorter prompt if character limits apply.
That is nice because I do think character limits apply.
I think they do.
Because include CTA for read.
That's not the last. Got most of it.
No, I did. Yeah.
I did? Okay.
Yeah, I stopped it here.
So okay, makes sense.
I think their character limits do apply, but let's see what happens. All right, Claude. All right, at very least, this is a better task.
Mm-hmm. It's got a title.
It's got a title, so that's an improvement.
Mm-hmm. Did the other one have the contact owner?
I think it did, yes.
You should.
But this did change the task type, and it added a name, and then it had the contact owner. Yeah. And then otherwise, this is all as expected.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to save them?
I want you to, yeah, so that we can compare. And then when we're all done with this, I want you to take the prompt that Claude created and put that into. Well, you just did that. Never mind.
All right. We'll do another one, manual. All right, so Claude's is pretty good. Let's see. This is just regular ChatGPT. HubSpot AI prompt. There's also add specific email names. Oh, if they're already built in HubSpot. They are not built in HubSpot, so I won't do that, but that is good to know. In theory, we could try that. Contact. Save and continue.
Here's another AI thing while we're waiting.
Mm-hmm.
Just another friction point. So I got permission to use the ChatGPT HubSpot integrator on the second portal that I wanted to use it on.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't because my ChatGPT account is under an email address that is not connected to that portal. So if you're anyway, if you're a freelancer like I am, that is a thing that could end up being an issue for you. And then, like, you don't want to, it's already an issue with like the Claude and the ChatGPT, and then like the paid version versus the free version, and just thwart it again.
So the ChatGPT one looks identical to the Claude one, or not the Claude one, sorry. The ChatGPT version looks identical to the Copilot, so HubSpot's internal one. So it did not have a title in the task, but it did assign to the owner. There is a task type, and then the emails are unknown, but the delay is right in there. So that is good. That's good. Claude's better so far. And then I went ahead and did the Hub Helper Harry version, which did unknown email. It did add connect with first name on LinkedIn. I like that. That worked better than this, is what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, points for Harry.
Points for Harry. And also worth probably noting, Harry added some usage notes as well.
Okay.
So out of those 3 tools, in accomplishing, well, all of them accomplished what we were looking for. And I think if you want to try the HubSpot AI Action Builder, these are the types of workflows that you're going to want to build that for, which may or may not be super useful. I am pretty quick at building these types of workflows. I don't know if this would have saved me a whole lot of time, like writing it out might have taken me just as long as like actually building these steps. But that is me. I live and breathe HubSpot every day. There are a lot of people that this takes much more time, and writing it out would be more helpful. You can certainly give it a try, especially if you're at a point where you're like, I know what I want to build, but I don't know how to do it. And you're about to send that to someone, or maybe your boss sent it to you. Drop that right in here and see what happens. That's another option.
Yeah, but I think, I mean, Hub Helper Harry won the day. I think start with Hub Helper Harry.
I think start with Hub Helper Harry. I love when I can highlight Nico also. So go try Hub Helper Harry if you haven't already. It's a little add-on to ChatGPT. So if you're already using ChatGPT, you can go into GPs and search for Hub Helper Harry, who I chat with every day. And I know Nico just released a update on that. So he's even better today than he was last week or 2 weeks ago. But he's great all the time, in my opinion.
That's awesome.
Any final thoughts, Trisha?
I think this is great. I think that if we weren't out here doing this thing, I would want to know this thing.
Yeah. So my takeaway is if a client comes to me this afternoon and says, hey, Casey, can you build me a workflow that does this? I might go in and drop those instructions right in here and see what comes out. What I'm not going to expect is for a finished product from this at this moment in time, as of today, August 7th at 12:30 Eastern. What I might expect or hope for is something better, or a jumping off point.
Okay.
Is a better phrasing of that. And then if I need help with the prompt, I'll probably send that to Hub Helper Harry.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And for me, am I still, I don't know. The war that I'm waging in my mind is whether or not to start with AI, because I've been burned so many times over the last few months by wasting time trying to get AI to work to do something that I ultimately could have done much faster. Mm-hmm. I'm still, I don't know, based on what we saw today, I've been trying to build a habit of starting, at least asking the question AI is like, is there a faster way to do this than to do it this way? And I feel that with how frequently HubSpot is updating the software and how many updates they're releasing at once, it's going to require like a behavior change from people like us in order to stay up with all those updates. Like you just can't literally consume all of the content that's being created about the updates.
Mhm.
So I like to start there. I like to start by just checking in before I do a new thing and just say, hey, is there a faster way to do this than the way I know to do this? But
Yes.
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with Harry instead of Copilot. Sorry, HubSpot, but Harry's doing a better job.
Good job, Nico. All right. Well, thank you all for joining us. I hope that you'll join us again next week. We're planning next week to talk more about that AI connector, Trisha, that you mentioned. You've done some work with it, and I am really excited to hear more about how you're using it and how that's going.
I am a big fan. And certainly, even if you can't use the connector, you can still upload data to ChatGPT. But there are some things that the connector gives you that you can't get out of an export. So I love it. I love it. It's great.
Well, thank you so much for joining me, Trisha, and thank you all for watching. We will see you next week.
Bye.